So what if in 1983, in an alternate universe, Richard Donner directs Superman 3 and doesn't mash a Richard Pryor comedy with a Superman movie? In this universe, Donner was never treated poorly by the Salkins, and Superman 2 was really the Richard Donner cut. The Richard Donner cut ended with Superman turning back time where the Kryptonians are back in the Phantom Zone. Lois doesn't remember who Superman really is, and Lex Luthor is likely back in jail before his escape. Richard Donner isn't just the director, but he had a strong involvement in the third movie's story and brought in good writers. The original plans that Richard Donner had involved Brainiac and other villains, but that could have been for either Superman 3 or 4. So we can imagine Brainiac for the fourth film. What could the third film have looked like? Let's take a look. We start off with Clark Kent taking vacation time to attend his high school reunion. Jimmy Olsen also goes along, so Clark doesn't have much of a choice but to take a bus from Metropolis. Lois Lane is going after a story at a chemical plant which is alleged to leak dangerous toxins in the environment. Lois tries to get to the bottom of these rumors till one area of the plant explodes with Lois and many workers stuck inside. Meanwhile, at a bus stop, Clark and Jimmy are enjoying a snack till Clark sees the big news on a small TV screen about the chemical plant. Clark pretends to go to the washroom and heads off as Superman. Jimmy is upset because they missed the bus. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor, who has been trying to plan for an escape from jail for some time, finally succeeds with Otis and heads back to the Metropolis underground, reuniting with Miss Tessmacher. The trio are back, and Luthor investigates rumors of a new kryptonite found and held at a military base for investigation. Superman saves Lois at the chemical plant. Lois thanks him, but Superman ignores her and heads back to the bus stop. As this was happening, an annoyed Jimmy heads to the washroom only to find Clark isn't there, but Clark's clothes are in one of the stalls. Jimmy finds it odd and runs out to see if Clark is in trouble. Suddenly, Clark comes out of the washroom all upset that they missed the bus. While on TV, Jimmy notices that Superman saved the chemical plant. Jimmy wonders if Clark and Superman are the same people. Clark and Jimmy get a ride to Smallville and head to the Kent farm. Jimmy takes a lot of photos of the area but wants to find out if there is some kind of connection between Clark and Superman at home. Clark remembers the old days, and that night they head to the reunion. Clark meets with his high school friend Lana Lang and learns about her deadbeat ex and her son. Jimmy asks Clark if he could stay behind at the Kent farm, and Clark is okay with it as he heads to Lana's place that night to reminisce the good old days. Clark spends the night at Lana's. At the Kent farm, Jimmy looks around and finds a trapdoor in a basement with a green crystal. Jimmy is amazed and takes multiple photos till he decides to stop. Jimmy takes out the film and puts it in his pocket, wondering if telling the world who Superman is would be the right thing to do. Lex Luthor and the trio head to a military base and steal the kryptonite. Lex is amazed of its properties, in that it's also tar-based, and believes it will affect Superman differently instead of just poisoning him. He wants to test the theory. Meanwhile, back at the Daily Planet, Lois learns of Lex Luthor's escape and returns to Metropolis. She investigates, but Lex already laid a trap for her capture. Clark has a great time with Lana and her son and may be falling for Lana. Suddenly, he hears Lex Luthor on a specific frequency telling Superman that he has Lois Lane. Clark tells Lana he has to go and that he promises he will be back. He rushes out and flies to Metropolis. Superman finds Lex and demands he hand over Lois. Lois tells Superman it's a trap. Superman says he's not scared of Luthor. Superman gets closer till Lex opens a lead case with the tar-based kryptonite, and it has no effect on Superman. Lex looks confused. Superman says, "Did you think this rock would stop me?" Unfortunately, Superman grabs the rock and suddenly a flash of light bursts that has Superman dazed. Luthor runs off. Superman feels weird but saves Lois. Lois at her apartment tells Superman that she doesn't understand why Superman ignores her. Superman tells her that he had no choice because when she did know the truth, it put her life in danger. She asks, what is he talking about? Superman looks confused and says he shouldn't have said it and flies out. On the way to Smallville, Superman falls into a forest and splits into two. Another Superman appears, Bizarro that is, and he flies back to Metropolis. Superman, on the other hand, heads back to Smallville to meet with Lana. Bizarro, who looks just like Superman, heads back to Lois. Bizarro tells Lois that he loves her. They embrace, but he tries to enforce himself on Lois as he slaps him and wants to know what is wrong with him. Bizarro argues with her, and Lois says she can't be with him. Bizarro gets angry and leaves. Lois finds it really odd. Bizarro starts acting out in frustration. He drops a cat from a tree. He saves people from a fire, but instead of putting it out, he destroys the building to stop it. He stops a drunk driver by throwing the car into a river. He does everything wrong till he is found drinking at a bar, causing a ruckus, and the media are all over the place covering this story. A kid wants an autograph on a Superman toy, and Bizarro partially melts the toy with his eyes and autographs it. Back in Smallville, Lana Lang is at the Kent farm with Clark, and Jimmy starts watching the news about Superman. Jimmy is now confused. How could Clark even be Superman if Superman is in Metropolis? Clark doesn't know yet. Lana tells Clark she has feelings for him and she spends the night. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor celebrates with drinks, explaining to Otis and Miss Tessmacher that this isn't Superman acting out, but he has figured it out that the tar-based kryptonite has actually split Superman into two after examining the rock's properties. Lex uses a specific frequency just within Metropolis to communicate with Bizarro. Bizarro quickly arrives, nearly destroying Lex's underground lair, and destroys the rock in the process. Bizarro asks what Lex wants. Lex starts to seduce him with the idea of money, women, and power, telling him that he can give him whatever he wants. Bizarro says he wants Lois. Lex says he can give her Lois, but he can give him riches beyond his imagination. Bizarro and Lex Luthor can rule the world together, the muscle and the brain. Bizarro was a little hesitant at first, but he gets seduced to the idea, and Lex says there's just one problem in the way. There is another of his equals somewhere out there. Bizarro starts helping Lex by robbing a few banks that night, and Lex moves to a high-rise penthouse he quickly buys with cash. A bank camera apparently catches Bizarro in the act, and it was released in the morning news with Perry White demanding Lois to find out what is going on. The world starts to believe Superman has gone bad. Back at the Kent farm, Jimmy freaks out and tells Clark that he has to save the world. Clark asks what is he talking about till he sees Bizarro on TV. Clark is in shock. Jimmy says he knows the truth. Clark denies it, but Jimmy says he saw the crystal and it's the only explanation all the times he was never around when Superman was around, and that the person on TV couldn't truly be Superman. Clark takes off his glasses and Jimmy promises he'll never tell anyone the truth about him. Clark tells Lana that he has to return home to Metropolis and that he will always cherish the time they had. Clark heads off to Metropolis as Superman. Bizarro is back at Lois's apartment. Lois is scared. He tells Lois that now he has money and power and that he can give Lois whatever she wants. Lois says she doesn't want it till Superman himself confronts Bizarro. Lois is in shock now that there are two of them. Superman and Bizarro fight as the world watches. Superman tries to convince Bizarro that what he is doing is evil and Lex is an evil man, but Bizarro wouldn't listen. Bizarro causes chaos everywhere he goes, but Superman finally stops him, throwing him into Lex's new apartment. Lex laughs, and Superman says that Lex is responsible for this abomination. Superman tells Bizarro to do the right thing, to be a hero, and this is his chance to redeem himself, to turn in Lex Luthor to the authorities. Lex takes out green kryptonite he also took from the military base to weaken Bizarro, but it has no effect on him. But it has an effect on Superman. Lex tells Bizarro that this is his chance to kill a weak Superman. Bizarro makes the right decision and throws away the kryptonite, handing Lex over to the authorities, giving back all the money he stole, and saving Superman. We then learn that Bizarro wants to find out about Krypton and his origins and decides to go to Krypton to see if there are any survivors left. Clark returns home to Metropolis and enters Lois's place. Lois asks him about his reunion till he takes off his glasses and tells Lois the truth that he is Superman. Lois says, what took him so long? Clark asks, how could she have known all this time? Lois says she always felt there was something about Clark, and they embrace. In the epilogue of the movie, Bizarro is flying in space till he meets with a large spaceship that opens up. Bizarro enters, and he is met with a robot known as Brainiac who welcomes him. The movie ends with a scroll screen announcing Superman 4 coming soon. So what did you think of this remake of Superman 3? Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching In the Plot.